what did you think about the presentation that he gave?
Oh, the content was fantastic. We've already started using Trello, which he told us about. And so that's working great. We're using that for the SA Board of Directors, some of the content that we need to share rather than just using a Dropbox. This gives us another dimension. So we use that, and the September meeting that we have roundtables 4 times a year in the U.S., and then we have one in Europe and one in Asia every year. So the one that we're having in September in the Midwest, we're probably going to have like an update. We won't be having Philippe there, but we're probably going to do an update on that session and discuss what our members are using from that session and, how applications they're using and how they're using things like that, and to try to keep us up to date on, on some of the options that are available out there.
Right. Okay. So do you remember, is there a particular piece of information from the presentation that excited you personally, that you were really excited to use yourself?
Well, we use that Trello, as I said, we definitely use that. I haven't used anything else. It's been pretty crazy around here for the last 3 weeks. So usually the week after the event, I'm so busy sending out, notices and the follow-up. And then the next week I took off because it was spring break. Philippe's has one that goes to High Tech High, as my granddaughter does. So they were both out on spring break, and she's doing college tours. So we were up in Berkeley and UCLA and all those places. So this is my first real week to be working. So I haven't had time to delve into any of the other things other than the Trello.
Right. No, I understand. So, but what I meant was, I just recently, maybe it's because, I just looked at the presentation that he gave. I was able to look at the file of all of the slides that he showed you. And there was a lot about, generational divide and the differences in, corporate situations on how, baby boomers are versus Gen X versus Gen Y. Any information like that? That was really
I thought that was very cool.
I thought that was very cool information, and I noticed that everybody was, when he was talking about that, this particular group does this, and this particular group does the Instagram. Like, I thought, he's right on target, because my grandchildren, they don't even use Facebook at all. They think that's for old people. And of course, they don't use LinkedIn, but they use the Instagram and the Snapchat and all of those things he talked about. And he's absolutely right, about all of it. So it just validated all of those things. And some of the participants, these folks that were in there, Laurel, are mostly heads of companies. They're C-level executives. So, they're probably the worst at using the newest technology. Even though they run technology companies, they have to be dragged through change. And so it was very interesting to have somebody come and really give them almost like a hands-on, here's what you do, and here's how you do it, and here's why you do it. So I've noticed, as I said, that, a lot of our members are now looking into those things as a result of that presentation. And it was so good that, as I said, we're going to do a follow-up on, where are you with those things, and how are you using them, and why are you using them? And, what we'll probably do is start out that roundtable discussion, because it's not like a presentation. It's more of we usually have 2 topics at these things. It's a half a day. And so we'll probably start off the social media one with some of Philippe's information from that presentation and say, oh, did you use this? How are you using it? And go by 4 or 5 of those kinds of things that perhaps they should use. And then we, as a board of SIA, we'll talk about the things that we're doing. Hopefully by that point, we'll use a lot more than just Trello. I see.
So I know you said you're using Trello and that's been working out well for you, but my other question is, was there anything that you gained personally from his presentation that you'll be able to use for yourself in the future?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I validated some of my thoughts, and so, living in a house with 3 generations. My daughter and grandchildren moved in with me about 7 years ago. So occupying a house that's got 3 generations, pretty much I see what they're doing that I'm not doing. So I have gotten pretty aware of some as the things come out, because my grandson, who's 14, is really, really into all the new technology stuff. And so he's been teaching me as we go along, but Philippe, some of those things, when I showed my grandson, he immediately started saying, well, I'm going to go look at this, or I'm going to go look at that. So I have to show it to my granddaughter and my daughter and see what applications that they see from his presentation. So, yeah, using it personally and professionally as well.
Okay, very good. Was there anything else you wanted to add about your opinion of the presentation that you saw?
I think he did a great job, and I think that what he does, the technology changes so fast now that this is something that we probably should do an update on every year at our conference. It maybe not be a closing keynote, but it'd be more of a hands-on update, or maybe even a breakout session where they can see how to use these things.
Right. So it's something that you want to look at consistently in the future and try to stay up to date.
Absolutely.
Okay, I understand. Well, thank you so much for your time. That was perfect. That's exactly what I needed.